Can't wait till tomorrow. It couldn't wait till next week's show. I guess bro's got something to say. We gonna run a recap, but first we gotta let the all-time picks leader, the one who won tonight's card, and the man who predicted that this was what was gonna happen. And so I guess it's without further ado, I hand the floor over to
Y'all know who it is. It's RayBuck. It's Michael Jordan. It is Mr. Give Me My Belt. Hand me my crown. The GOAT. The Mr. Hold My Wiener. What was going to happen? That was, I tried to be quite clear and quite, you know what I mean? No one wanted to listen. Couldn't get. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Feel free. Feel free to apologize. Apologize.
I don't know about apologize, but you were right.
Apologize.
You got it. You got it, bruh. You got it. That's what I'm gonna give you. You got it.
Yes.
Myself and Darren Teed went 8-4. So for those of you who weren't tuned into the live watch along, this is the official recap of UFC Fight Night, Taira versus Park. We have Park coming away with the victory in the headline fight, but we had 12 fights on the night. So I guess we can start things off at the beginning of the card, and then we'll gradually get to that main event. But start things off, we had Pierre Rodriguez versus Ketlin Souza, and it went exactly how I expected it to. Rodriguez, that's what she likes to do, is get you down to the ground and just beat on you and lean on you. And that's what she did. She just gradually, wore on Souza's energy. Was getting the better in some stand-up exchanges, but there were points where Souza was starting to come back. But ultimately, Piera was too much. It was weird that shit ended in a motherfucking split decision. I did not like that shit at all. But she did get the victory. I love that shit. And salute to Pierre Rodriguez. I believe that's who you got too in this fight. Shout out to the 22 people in this fucking live right now. Make sure you hit the like button for this episode that we got going on. Make sure you go subscribe to Bros Talk MMA. Shout outs to Darren Teed in the chat, Anime Edits. And yeah, let's go. RayBuck, go ahead, bruh. Go ahead. Tell us what happened.
One of my many wins on the night. I told you. I told everyone what was going to happen. Ass whoopings. Rodriguez for the win. I'm not making this shit up, y'all. Y'all know.
We had Felipe Bunis going up against Rafael Estevam. I got my pick right, but I will say I wasn't expecting the game plan from Estevam. They decided to go to the route of grappling and just trying to control Bunis, which I thought was going to be an issue just due to the fact that it would be more so Bunis' realm. They made it interesting at the end of the first round, but then ultimately after that, I think they may have used too much energy trying to sink that in. I feel like that choke, he had him in for almost a minute, maybe a minute plus. I'm not sure. But by the time the second and third round came around, it was just easier and easier for Estevam to keep him down and control him. And Estevam got the win, but it was not necessarily by the game plan I expected. I thought he was going to take care of him more so on the feet, but didn't happen that way. How'd you see it, though, my man? Yeah, this is our very moderator right here. Yeah, this is the second day. We going back to back with it. I mean, just boom, boom. We going back to back.
On wins. This is 2-0 for Ray Bucks, as you should have expected. So,
Up against John Yannis. This one was cut and dry. The odds said it was cut and dry, and Bashi lived up to every bit of his closing number when the odds closed and made quick work. Yeah, really ain't much to say on this one. We all agreed on this one. We were all in agreement. So yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it was it.
like a dude just like on a mission. Like it was crazy, and he's a nice dude on the mic and everything. Super, nice dude. But it was funny because like the way he fought, you'd think that he was about to get on there and fucking, you know, talk some shit. But nah, he was super nice kid. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's all you got. That's all you got, my man. Not much to say when you go 10. I get it. All right. I get it, bro. I fucking get it. Well, we almost had.
Okay, because Rebecca won that fight. I know his face was beat up. It looked like hamburger meat. I get that, but the punch count tells a different story. The significant strike count tells a different story. And uh, 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 I should have picked Rosa. I second guessed myself. I allowed myself to be swayed, to be uh change a pick. I'm not going to say how I was swayed or how I changed a pick. But that being said, it happened. You know what I mean? But I also gotta give you know what I mean, credit to somebody else who may have also, you know what I mean, changed my pick, but that was a Magny pick. And that was a great pick. You know what I mean? So shouts out to the unnamed person who had me change the pick. You know what I mean, for Magny. So that being said, this was my third win of the night. Let's just keep talking about all my wins. Feel free to go to the next fight.
First round, which is crazy because it was basically a repeat performance of what he did against Mansur Abdul Malik, and he was just going too tough for that fucking takedown, let alone trying to get a finish afterwards. And damn, bro, I don't know, fucking Puliev, came out. You could tell by the end of the first round things were going to start opening up for him, and then yeah, by third round or second round he just opened up on Klein, and it was a wrap from there. Klein was, his energy was shot, so went pretty much the way I expected it to. But yeah, bro, how you got it?
Juliet for the win over Nick Lyon. I knew it was going to happen. You know what I mean? I'm Black Nostradamus. I told you. What do you mean? I am the man, the myth, the legend, the goat. Handing out slaps to all who oppose. What more do you want from the great one?
You definitely going to chart well on the UFC tracker. So anybody who isn't familiar, go check out UFC predictions tracker. They take picks and predictions channels like ours, put us all up against each other, channel by channel, host by host, and see who's the best at picking and shit like that. So shout out to them. I believe bro should be in some good standing. I feel like. Um, I feel you. Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Weekend. And what did I tell you, Cameron? Utica, what did I tell you? What was the thought? That by the end of this week, we're going to be at 300 subs.
the live stream that we had for the watch along. That was our second live stream. Much love to all of y'all. Shout out to David Miat in the chat. Much love. How are you guys doing? Doing well, bro. We had a solid night of picks, bro. Went 10-2 on the night. I went 8-4 along with my other co-host Darren Teed. So it was solid. Had the nice Magni underdog pick. Want to say had something else in the works, but anyways, uh, yeah. Let's move on to this next fight. We had Rodolfo Rivera up against Trishan Gore. That was a surprising fight because Gore was solid all fight, and he was just easily stuffing takedowns, not even letting Vieira get any sort of type of grappling off. But then all of a sudden, it just because Gore wouldn't enact any offense after stuffing the takedowns. I think because he was so concerned with the fact that Rodolfo, even though he wasn't able to get takedowns, he just kept doing it and was kind of relentless. I think it made him gun shy. So then eventually he wasn't getting any offense off, and then boom, fucking Vieira started opening up with the hands, and he didn't really even need grappling at that point anymore. So solid pick by the team. More so though by my bro right here.
That being said, I have been told that my doppelganger is in the guy from the movie Hook. I'm not sure if you've seen him. I've been told that my doppelganger is in The People Under the Stairs. If you haven't seen that movie, but yeah, I'm going to do great things. Maybe movie acting is the next one. But go ahead. And shouts out to Adolf. We're not going to say your second half of your name, but shouts out to you, bro. Appreciate you being in the in the.
Fucking shout out, fucking this fool. This is obvious fucking buffoonery going on now, but it is what it is. It is. I mean, watch, whatever. Fucking then we got one of the faster fights of the night. We got Rinya Nakamura going up against Nathan Fletcher. Nakamura came in there. You know, they were in there for a little bit, and then Nakamura lands a nasty body kick. And Nathan Fletcher tried to hide that shit so bad. Like he tried so hard to hide that shit hurt him, and it's just he couldn't. And Nakamura just smelled blood in the water, and he was on him, and it was a wrap from there. Wasn't even. Yeah, cashed.
Nice, bro. Shouts out to you. Solid work, bro. You know what I mean? That's is that pick that's win number 4, number 5. Where are we at? Where are we at?
So we got, let's see, you got one, two, three, four, five, six, six. So that was fight number 6. We're going into fight number 7. This is so I went 6-0. I cleared the prelims. I was good. Boom, 6-0. You went 6-0, fucking cleared the prelims. But then the main card started and I took my first L. Danny Silva versus Kevin Vachejos, even though, 2 L's. Hey, Argentina, though, it's your rules, so if it's Vachejos, it's Vachejos. Danny Silva versus Kevin Vachejos. I picked Silva. I think he should have won that. That's the robbery for me, and not a robbery. I'm not going to call it a robbery, but if there was a fight that I think should have been called in my favor that wasn't, it was Danny Silva versus Kevin Vachejos. You said Chris Duncan, Rebetsky, but nah, for me, it was this one. I feel like Danny Silva was just, I just thought he was better in the fight, but, ultimately he left the door open and Vachejos, apparently the punch stats told a different story too. So wasn't much I could really say, but that was my first out of the night. You got it right though. So what did you see? What was the vision, sir?
I look at these two men and I say, if I seen these two dudes outside of the bar, who's gonna win? Right? Like real world shit. I see who's the killer? Who's the most like me? And that had to be Vachejos. He's the most like your boy. He's a winner. Seen him as a winner tonight. You know what I mean?
All right, going into one of my bigger wins in the night, I was happy about. We got Neil Magny going up against Elizu Zaleski dos Santos. Went the way that I expected it to. Magny, he just had to weather the storm, did his thing. He eventually took over in the second half of like the second round. And Zaleski just didn't have much for him. And yeah, um Magny was able to take over and eventually flatten him out, win by TKO stoppage. Fucking, I knew it was a better matchup for him than what he's been getting recently. A lot of people think he was washed or whatever, but he was facing, up and coming prospects, killers at that. So now that he was matched with someone a little more evenly, I knew that he was going to take this one. So, shout outs Neil Magny, still getting back into the win column. Didn't allow himself to be on his first 3 fight skid in his career. Lengthy UFC career, lengthy MMA career. Shout outs Neil Magny.
He is just a dog fighter who fights nothing but killers. His resume speaks for itself, and he's not losing to bums. He's losing to the best in the division. You know what I mean? He's a journeyman, and he is the gatekeeper, and he is fighting the great ones, and that makes him a great one as well, just like your boy, who also won this fight. I'm still on a winning streak at this point in the card. What is this? Win number 7 at this point? Win 7 in a row.
Now we're on to fight number 9. We got Carol Hossa going up against Nora Cornell. Bruh, I don't know fucking what Cornell was doing. She didn't have no fucking ground game. Obviously didn't think that it was even going to go that route, but was constantly trying to clinch and put themselves in position to be grappled with. And Hossa came out. I don't know who the fuck that was. That wasn't Carol Hossa, man. That was somebody else. Because usually she comes out and fights a conservative game, but is able to dog it out if necessary. Point fighter, decision machine. Tonight she was trying to fucking finish that fight, but then eventually she just knew that she had all control, and just fucking dominated fucking Nora Cornell. And you almost had that one. This is where things took a turn. You almost had that one though. And I'm sorry if I had anything to do with that, but you almost had that one.
I have a sheet of paper. I generally text Cameron the night before, a couple nights before we do or Utica before we do a stream, and let him know what my picks are gonna be. You know what I mean? Just so we're kind of in whatever. And I had Rosa, and I crossed her name out, and I put Cornell in there. The Cornell generally is a dog, and my heart, even during the stream, I said Rosa was gonna win, and I had to go back on that. I knew Rosa was gonna win. I second guessed myself, which I shouldn't. I don't know why the great one would ever do that to himself. It's craziness. It makes no sense, but it happened. So shouts out on a good win for Rosa. Shouts out to my first L, one of only two. Should have been none, but it is what it is. I can't win them all, but I'm trying to.
Uh we got Esteban against Alves Brenner in what I thought would be fight of the night. And if not fight of the night, so this is how I see it. So maybe everybody needs to get $50,000 in these next two fights. So Esteban Rivovics and Alves Brenner either need to get fight of the night, or Chris Duncan and Rembetsky need to get fight of the night, or whoever doesn't get fight of the night, the other two in the other fight need to get performance bonuses. Either way, those guys all need to get 50K, bro, because those these next two fights are crazy. Esteban Ribovics versus Alves Brenner was a fucking banger, which I knew it was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be a war of attrition. Freaking, I knew that Ribovics ultimately, was gonna win, but it was gonna be because he was gonna land the more impactful shots, the shots that were gonna sting more, and fucking Brenner was either going to just be dangerous and catch Ribovics, and or enact grappling, which he actually did in this fight, which I think helped him and hurt him at the same time. But ultimately, it was just they were both dogs, they were both durable, but ultimately Ribovics was just a little bit more durable, had a little bit more dog in him, and was just fucking setting into everything that he was throwing at Brenner. So I mean, shouts out to both those guys. But yeah, Ribovics came away with the victory. Hell yeah. What you got?
Back into the wait. Yes, put your boy right back into the win column. Um, Great fight. I just and in my opinion, or not my opinion, but I believe that anyone lesser than Brenner hits the fucking canvas, because they were literally just throwing bombs at each other, and Repovic was just throwing absolute fucking bombs. Um, so shouts out, absolutely. So I've got to say that it was great. Like, you know what I mean? That was a great fight between both fighters, and anyone else lesser of a fighter falls to the ground. Okay.
Rembetsky. And I actually thought that this fight should have been switched around for co-main event for Reba Vix and Alves Brenner. But you know, these guys came out and they fucking did their damn thing. I went with Rembetsky, but ultimately he just wasn't able to hang. Duncan has dog in him, you know, sneaky grappling. There's just all these things I'm learning about Chris Duncan fight by fight, you know, that I just wasn't sure about early on when he came on. And, you know, I owe him an apology now at this point because he's starting to show that, you know, he has something to prove in this division. And you know, yeah, I mean, he had fucking Rembetsky looking like a fucking mess. Rembetsky was coming on at certain points, but just wasn't able to fucking string it together to, you know, take over. And you know, shout outs Darren T. You know, he called this one. This was one that we dropped, but you know, players fuck up, and you know, it was only your second loss of the fucking night. So hey, you weren't tripping.
Nice. Um, but if you look at the significant strike total, if you look at the total strikes, my guy outshined him for 3 rounds. It is what it is. This dude Duncan just has a face made of stone. Like, you know what I mean? But homie was literally cracking it. I mean, go ahead. Go ahead.
Would hit him with, you know, volume. You know, obviously the strike numbers say that, but man, Duncan would when he would hit, he would fucking stick him and leave him like stunned. And that I think that was the and then just the way he looked, that ultimately was just the determining factor for me. So I don't know.
You know what I mean? Um, and I think that also led to his face looking as bad as it did. You got to remember, there's a lot of blood sitting right there, and that blood is draining down into the eye area. So when he's getting stuck in the eye, it's swelling, but I think it exactly. Well, take that out. You know what I mean? I've only got two at this point, but the rest of
All right, y'all. Moving on to the main event of the evening. Damn, man, fucking Tatsuya Taira, man, he's a problem now. Don't get me wrong, he beat somebody who came in on short notice, but I'm not gonna take anything away from him because I picked Park. I was high on Park. I thought he had what it took to just come in and stun everybody, but ultimately he has a long way to go. And Taira, man, he just I didn't say he had hands like that, but I think he's starting to get it together with the hands. And then his grappling is just, it's scary, man. It's scary. Like he's like a fucking spider and just, he just wraps his fucking opponent up and he doesn't let him go. And, you know, he almost, I feel like he fucks with him. I think he also plays a mental game in there where I think he allows you to think you're going to fucking, you know, find an entry for a way out or get out of there, and then he fucking just wraps you back up, almost like to defeat you. So I mean, salute to Brandon Royval, bro, because that victory aged well. Because Tyara looks fucking nasty, and
and
I
let
said
me just
Park,
bring up that that was the lamest.
I said Park, Darren Teet said Park, but you had Taira. You seen something different. So hey, break it down, bro. Break it down for him.
First, let me break down that those entrance music, theme songs, whatever, were trash. The worst entrance music I've ever heard from two fighters, and it was like both bad, like terrible. Like, that shit. I don't know how either one of them got fired up to win. But
Uh,
I've got to say, bruh, that again, against all odds, against the other 2/3 of the channel. What'd your boy do? He stepped out there on the limb, slid through the ropes, told you, Taira for the win, handily. And what happened? An ass whooping was given, a choke of epic proportion. I'm a goddamn goat. I know exactly what's going to happen. It is what it is.
Hey, salute to you,
Ooh,
sir. Salute to you. You got it done. You got us on the map, hopefully, for tomorrow's UFC predictions tracker. Make sure, folks, if you aren't familiar, go check out UFC predictions tracker. That's the name of the channel. They take channels like ours that do picks and predictions, put us up against each other, channel by channel, host by host, to let you know in this big community we got who are the best pickers, who know how to pick method of victory, people who know how to pick underdogs versus favorites, people who are netting the most ROI hypothetically based upon whatever number you're associating with your units. So make sure you go check them out. Make sure you go check out Fight Bloodline. Um, Make sure that you check us out every Friday, 7 p.m. for fight breakdowns. We do a fight breakdown for every event prior to the event, give you our picks and predictions. It's good analysis, high level analysis, in my opinion, but we present it in a barbershop type of fashion, similar to this. We just sit and we talk shit about the fights and we call it how we see it. Make sure that you check us out, like I said, every Friday, usually around 7 p.m. is when we get things going. Um, Shouts out to everybody that tuned in earlier for my second live stream watch along. We went the entire event from the first card to the last, from the first fight to the main event on the card. So shouts out to everybody that tuned in. Out to everybody that engaged in the chat. Shouts out to everybody who stuck with me for the long haul. And shouts out to everybody that subscribed during that time. Much love to all of y'all. Uh, you can follow Bros Talk MMA on Instagram and TikTok at Bros Talk MMA. You can follow me on those platforms at Utica, UTICA _SME. And yeah, outside of that, bro, the floor is yours, bro. The floor is yours. You send us off, my man. The floor is yours.
the land of money. It is the great one. It is Mr. Give me my belt. Hand me my crown. I'm the shit. Yes. Mr. And then have her. No, I'm not going to say that. Anyway, that being said, great card. Whole guaranteed made crazy motherfucking route to victory picks and came out on
Yeah,
top.
Darren got those Method of Victories picks. That's Mr. Can't Miss, aka Mr. Method of Victory. Shouts out our co-host Darren Teed.
6-0 before he even took his first out, killed the whole prelims. On the same channel. pick at such a high clip. I think what was your fight totals again? One more time. 8-4.
Uh,
That's a 66% win
top
rate.
10, you're going to be in the top 10 most likely to get us featured. So we all did great on the night.
Great. All three of us are in the win column because all three of us know what the fuck we're talking about. All the things we're talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to drop an F bomb, but I'm so excited. I'm so great what I do and what they do and how they do it. And we'll be back on Friday. We'll be here to slap heads and make bread.
Yes, indeed.
That being said, you have spoken to the great one. I hope you listen. I hope you sub. You know what I mean? That's all I'm asking. Throw a sub in there because I'm going to get you paid.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy, folks. Well, with that being said, this was another recap of the UFC Fight Night card that took place tonight between Tatsuro Taira going up against Hyung Sung Park. I'm your host, Utica, undeniably the illest cat around, aka Mr. Make This Pick Real Quick. On behalf of Bro,
Yo, Yoshi, that is funny as hell, bro. Go ahead.
hey, this nigga suggested we shoot shows on this phone. He said that we should shoot phone footage on an Android phone, bruh. Like, get the fuck out of here,
My
bro.
bad, bro.
Stick to pics. I suggest you get a Apple, but stick to pics in the meantime, cause yeah, this is tough over on that side of the screen. But anyways, shouts out to our other co-host Darren Teed. Shouts out to Fight Bloodline. And yeah, once again, much love to everybody that's tuned in and subscribed. Hit like on this if you haven't before we go. And until the next time, y'all, we out.